Imagine it is late December 2026. You are sitting in your home office. The room is quiet. There is no frantic typing, no desperate scrolling through freelance job boards, and no panic about the latest quarterly report. You take a sip of coffee and look at your dashboard. While you were sleeping, your systems processed 400 client requests, negotiated 3 vendor contracts, and updated your entire CRM database. You didn't touch a single key. This reality, the reality of true sovereign leverage, is what separates the winners from the obsolete in the economy we are entering. For the last few years, we've been living in a noise bubble. Everyone was shouting about ChatGPT, everyone was a prompt engineer, and everyone thought that generating text was the peak of artificial intelligence. They were wrong. We are now waking up to the truth. 2025 was the year of the great filter. It was the year the hype died, the tourists left the industry, and the serious builders began laying the foundation for the next decade. If you are hearing this, you made it through the noise. You are still here. And more importantly, you are just in time. Welcome back to Intelligent Artificial Explained. Today, we are not talking about cool tricks or funny image generators. We are talking about the hard economics of the future. We are talking about infrastructure. I am going to walk you through the 5 undeniable data-backed reasons why starting an AI automation agency in 2026 is not just a good idea. It is a survival imperative. We are looking at a window of opportunity that is rapidly closing. A window where the demand for implementation is about to outpace the supply of experts by a factor of 100 to 1. Let's strip away the buzzwords and look at the engine under the hood of the global economy. Why is 2026 the specific tipping point? To understand this, we have to look at where we just came from. In 2023 and 2024, we saw the chatbot era. It was novel, it was exciting. Companies scrambled to put a chat bubble on their website. But here's the cold, hard truth that businesses realized in late 2025. Chatbots don't do work. Chatbots talk, and talking, while helpful, is not labor. This brings us to reason number 1, the shift from chat to agency. In 2026, we are witnessing the rise of agentic AI. This is the single biggest technical leap since the release of GPT-4. Until now, large language models were passive. You asked them a question and they gave you an answer. They were oracles. But businesses don't need oracles. They need interns. They need employees. They need action. Agentic AI changes the fundamental architecture of the internet. An agent doesn't just predict the next word in a sentence. It predicts the next action in a workflow. It has permissions. It has tools. It has a mandate. Think about the difference for a potential client. In the old model, you would sell them a bot that answers customer support questions. That saves them maybe 10% of their time. In the 2026 model, you are selling them a sales agent. This software doesn't just answer questions. It actively scans LinkedIn for leads, scrapes their data, qualifies them based on specific criteria, drafts a personalized email, schedules the meeting on the CEO's calendar, and then updates the HubSpot CRM. Do you see the difference? One is a novelty, the other is a workforce. The reason you must start your agency now is that the world is unprepared for this shift. Most businesses are still stuck trying to figure out how to write a good prompt, while the technology has already moved on to autonomous execution. There is a massive vacuum in the market. Companies are drowning in disconnected software. They have Slack, they have Trello, they have Salesforce, and none of them talk to each other. The agentic revolution is about building the connective tissue between these islands. It is about creating multi-agent systems, where one AI acts as the project manager, another as the coder, and another as the quality assurance tester, all working in a loop until the job is done. If you start an agency today, you aren't selling AI. You are selling labor as a service. You're selling the ability to replace a $50,000 a year repetitive administrative role with a $500 a month subscription to an agent you built. The economics of that trade are irresistible to every CFO on the planet. But there is a catch. Building these agents requires a different mindset than just prompting. It requires an engineering mindset. It requires understanding logic loops, error handling, and memory management. This is why the barrier to entry is getting higher, which is actually good news for you. In 2023, anyone could spin up a wrapper and call it a startup. In 2026, you need to actually understand the architecture of automation. This filters out the get-rich-quick crowd and leaves the market open for the serious professionals. The prompt engineer is dead. This brings us to reason number 3, the SMB survival gap. If you look at the headlines, you only see Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI fighting for dominance. But the real economy, the one that puts food on the table for millions of people, is made up of small and medium businesses, SMBs. Dental clinics, logistics companies, law firms, real estate brokerages, manufacturing plants. Here's the situation they are facing in 2026. They are being squeezed. Inflation has driven up the cost of human labor. They cannot afford to hire 10 new admin staff to manage their paperwork. But at the same time, the volume of data they have to handle, emails, invoices, compliance forms, has exploded. They are drowning. And here's the kicker. They cannot hire a full-time head of AI. A top-tier AI engineer in 2026 commands a salary of $250,000 or more. A local logistics company in Ohio or a bakery chain in France cannot afford that. They are completely locked out of the AI revolution. This is where you come in. This is the survival gap. Your agency exists to democratize this technology. You are not selling them a neural network. You are walking into their office and saying, I see you have 3 people spending 4 hours a day copying data from PDF invoices into Excel. That costs you $60,000 a year. I will build a system that does it automatically, instantly, with 0 errors, for a one-time setup fee of $10,000 and a $1,000 monthly maintenance fee. The ROI, return on investment, is instant. The math is undeniable. In 2026, we are seeing the rise of the fractional automation officer. You become the external CTO for 5, 10, or 20 small businesses. You build the infrastructure once and you deploy it across multiple clients in the same niche. And that word, niche, is critical. In 2024, everyone tried to be a generalist AI agency. They would help anyone with anything. That model is dead. In 2026, the money is in vertical AI. The successful agencies today are specialized. They are the AI agency for property management or the AI agency for immigration lawyers. When you specialize, you understand the specific software they use, whether it's Clio for lawyers or Yardi for real estate. You understand their specific pain points. You build a solution once and you sell it 100 times. The SMB market is not looking for innovation. They are looking for salvation. They need these tools to survive against the big corporations that are already automated. By providing this lifeline, you build a business that is recession-proof. Now, let's pivot to a more technical but equally profitable shift. This is something that separates the amateurs from the pros. Reason number 4, the rise of sovereign and local AI. For the first few years of the AI boom, the default behavior was to send all our data to the cloud. You pasted your client's contracts into ChatGPT. You uploaded your financial data to the cloud API. But in 2026, the pendulum has swung back. Data privacy is no longer just a nice to have. It is a legal and competitive necessity. Companies have realized that data is their most valuable asset, and they are terrified of leaking it. We have seen the headlines about IP theft and data breaches. This has created a massive demand for sovereign AI. Sovereign AI means the intelligence runs on the client's own terms, often on their own infrastructure or in a private cloud that they control. It's about owning the brain, not just renting it. As an agency owner in 2026, if you only know how to wrap the OpenAI API, you're vulnerable. The highest paying clients, healthcare providers, financial institutions, government contractors, will not let you send their data to a public model. The opportunity here is in local LLMs, large language models. Thanks to the incredible optimization of open source models like the Llama series, Mistral, and DeepSeek, we can now run GPT-4 level intelligence on a local server or even on a high-end laptop. An on-premise AI agency is a blue ocean market. You can walk into a law firm and say, "We will build you an internal research bot that has read every case file you have ever produced. It will write briefs for you." But here's the best part. Not a single byte of data leaves this building. It works offline. It is yours. That pitch is devastatingly effective. It addresses the number one objection corporate clients have: security. Furthermore, local AI solves the cost issue. When you rely on APIs, your costs scale with your usage. If your bot goes viral or processes 1,000,000 documents, your bill explodes. With local AI, your cost is fixed. You buy the hardware, GPU, once, and the inference is free forever. This shift toward edge computing, running AI on the device or the local server, is huge in 2026. If you can position your agency as the expert in privacy-first automation, you automatically disqualify 90% of your competition who are just reselling ChatGPT wrappers. This requires a bit more technical know-how. You need to understand containerization, maybe a bit of Docker, and how to manage local vector databases. But this barrier to entry is your moat. It protects your margins. So we have covered the shift to agentic workflows, the unlocking of enterprise budgets, the desperation of the SMB market, and the critical need for sovereign private AI. But there is one final piece of the puzzle. It is perhaps the most philosophical, yet the most economically significant. It involves the changing nature of human labor itself, and where you fit into this new hierarchy. The job market is being hollowed out from the bottom, creating a vacuum that only a specific type of entrepreneur can fill. We are talking about the cognitive labor vacuum. This leads us to the final and perhaps most profound shift of 2026. Reason number 5, the cognitive labor vacuum and the rise of the orchestrator. For the last century, the economy rewarded specialists. If you were good at writing legal briefs, you were paid well. If you were good at writing Python code, you were paid well. If you were good at analyzing Excel sheets, you had a career. But in 2026, we have to be honest. AI is rapidly driving the cost of these specific singular skills toward zero. The cost of generating a block of code is effectively free. The cost of summarizing a document is free. This terrifies employees, but it is the single greatest lever for entrepreneurs. As these individual tasks are automated, a massive vacuum is opening up for a new type of role: the orchestrator. The orchestrator is not the person playing the violin. They are the conductor. They don't write the code. They direct the system that writes the code. They don't write the copy. They direct the agent that understands the brand voice. Starting an AI automation agency in 2026 places you in the cockpit of this transition. You are no longer selling hours of work. You are selling outcomes. The AI expert of 2026 isn't a genius with a PhD in machine learning. They are simply the person who decided to start building while everyone else was still debating if it was possible. If you are ready to stop consuming and start building, you are in the right place. On this channel, Intelligent Artificial Explained,